Morning, everybody. This is John Chisholm with GPAC 605-277-3729. We're your number one commercial drywall, commercial paint, specialty contracting recruiters in the country. And this morning, as I go live, I just wanted to bring a couple of thoughts, in particular to people that are currently working in the construction industry, but this can be broadened out to any industry. Also for those people who are contractors that are running their own business. And again, this can run out to any industry, but that's my specialty. And I wanted to bring some thoughts right now into this economy, because right now, I've got to be honest with you. Excuse me for one moment. Sorry about that. I want to bring some ideas to you now. There's one thing that I know in this economy right now. This economy is probably the strangest I have seen in my years as a recruiter. Literally phones ringing off the hook from companies looking for great talent. And I got to say, back in the pandemic, back around June, July of 2020, I was already warning companies that when this recovery starts to happen, that it's going to be next to and near impossible to be able to find the right kind of candidates, the right kind of candidates. The candidate market was going to do what it is doing now, and that is, quite frankly, candidates are staying put. Professionals are staying put. Honestly, they're terrified. They're terrified of making a change. They're terrified of going from one company to another. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't happen. It does. Things get bad at companies to where people start thinking about leaving. And so in this live broadcast for the next 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so, we're going to start opening up that can of worms a little bit from the candidate side and from the company side. And I think it's important to start with the company. And in the chat box, I've pasted a link, and that link is for a special report that is available to company owners, company presidents, CEOs, CFOs, whatever. I've posted a link. It's a special report. It's about how to build a high performance culture. Now you're saying, you're a company owner, and you're saying, well, what does culture have to do with what John's talking about right now? Well, culture has everything to do with what I'm talking about right now. You want to build a company that people want to work for. With the market the way that it is and the rarity of candidates, you have to be a company that people love working for and want to continue working for. And this special report that I have posted in the chat is, and I'll post it again, this special report that I have posted in the chat is free. It's something that I put together. I've done a webinar. I've done a webinar on it as well, and I can get a copy of that webinar. And actually, I might just run that webinar again because it's been so helpful for so many companies. But you have to be a company that not only keeps the employees and kind of recruiter-proofs your company away from recruiters coming in or people coming in and trying to draw people away from your company. And that starts with culture. That starts with building culture. And building that high-performance culture is all about making your company so awesome to work for that nobody would ever want to leave. But not only that, the people that are working there become your best recruiters. They become your best attractors of talent. And they also, the other end of it is, it helps your bottom line as well as your top line, because when you build a culture and when you build a team around that culture at your office, then those people not only are speaking to potential employees, but they're also speaking to customers. And when they have, a culture of ownership, a culture of their opinion is important, they feel like they can come. They've got an open door policy with the owners, with the bosses, that they can come without fear and share with them about things that are going on within the company and things that can be improved within the company. When they feel like their voice is heard and that their talents are valuable to the company, those are people that will never leave. Those are people that will not go away. Those are people that will be loyal to a fault. They're not going to go away for $1,000 more. They're not going to go away for even maybe it's a closer location. They're not going to go away for anything. When they know that they're valued, when they know that their contributions to the company are noticed, when they know that they are heard by the ownership, heard by the management, when they know that they can grow within this company, that they're not going to be stuck in the same position for years and years and years and years, that based upon their performance, they're not only rewarded financially, but they're also rewarded with more responsibility or a title or whatever it happens to be. When you build that culture at your company, no one's ever going to want to leave, and they're going to attract people to stay. I work with a lot of these kinds of companies, and just as an illustration, I recently had a candidate go to work for a company, but during the interview process, this is actually what happened during the interview process when the management determined, even before the management determined that they wanted to meet this person, wanted this person to come to work for them, they walked this person through their offices into the conference room and introduced them to people along the way. And the people spoke with them, greeted them, say, "Hey, welcome. Glad that you're here. This is, and just, kind of greeted them, the people that were in their, open workspace." But what was even cooler is that as the interview wrapped up and got finished, the owners of the company just invited the candidate to go and meander through the office and say, they said, "Feel free to talk to anybody out there that's not, obviously that's not on the phone, that's not, that's not currently engaged in something, and ask them about our company. Just ask about what it's like working for us. Ask them anything you want. You have free reign. You can leave right away. You can go out and you can do this." And he did that, and the candidate did that, and it wasn't the interview that sold him. It wasn't the offer that sold him. It was the company culture. It was the very fact that every one of the people there, it's not necessarily that they were goofing around, laughing or anything like that, had a smile on their face, whatever, but they all seemed engaged. They all seemed part of the company, and every one of them to a T basically spoke about how great it is to work for the company. So when you've got that kind of advertising, it's hard to lose. It's hard to lose a good candidate. It's hard to lose a good employee, and it's a real attractor to that when your employees are your best advertisement. So I encourage you, please, to take a look at my special report. Again, I've given it a lot of thought. I've talked about it a lot. I think it's a wonderful special report. It's got, it's really simple, but at the root of it, it's going to kind of pique your mind and make you think about this idea about building a high performance culture. Now, as it's been said, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't build culture in a day. And it's gonna take some hard thinking on your part as a business owner to be able to create this culture. It's like I said, it's not going to happen in a day. You're not going to just all of a sudden say, okay, we're implementing this new plan. It's going to take conversations. It's going to take time to build that culture. Some people need a complete remodel of their cultures. Other people need just a few little ticks and twitches, but it takes time to build a good culture. Just like it takes time to undo a bad culture. By the way, for my clients with GPAC, I'm more than happy to talk to my clients from GPAC, completely free of charge. And as part of what I do as a recruiter, I'm more than happy to consult with you on some of those types of things. However, I do run a side company. It's just called Simple John Chisholm Enterprises. I'm a trained coach. I'm a trained business consultant, and my belief is that your culture will never change as a business owner. Your business will never change until you improve the owner. The most important thing that an owner can do is improve their mind, and reach out to me individually, via, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. If you want to have a virtual conversation about that. I've helped literally hundreds of business owners free their mind, so to speak. If you want to go back to a matrix reference, free your mind. But more than free your mind, you got to change your thinking. You got to expand your thinking. And sometimes, not sometimes, always. The reality is if you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. If you're having a struggle keeping good key employees highly motivated and moving forward with your company, if you're having a retention problem of any kind whatsoever, the problem is not with the people that are leaving. More often than not, and I'm blunt here. The problem is with leadership. The problem is with management, and it all stems from the top. Let me help you expand your thinking, grow your mind, improve your thinking, improve your awareness, and that is at the root of building a high performance culture, is by starting at the top, at the owner, at the president, CEO, CXO, VPs. It starts there, and I can help you with that. So reach out to me just reach out to me. Order the special report. It'll be in your email box today. I don't spam. I don't do that at all. Now let's turn this around just a little bit, and let me talk to people that are currently in the again my role, and where a lot of people are going to see this is with construction companies, but this crosses over to all different works. Now, GPAC, my recruiting firm that I work for, I don't own GPAC, but I own my own desk. My desk is surrounded around specialty construction and construction, drywall, all commercial drywall, commercial paint, industrial coatings, waterproofing, concrete restoration, all Division 9, plaster. We can talk all about that. I deal with civil. I have a team that deals with HVAC all the way across the country. They're the best. They're the best team, man. I've got a team that deals with electrical. If you're a specialty contractor, subcontractor, I want to talk to you. 605-277-3729. We do have these types of opportunities that I'm describing. They're fantastic. They're awesome. Now, the other thing that we have for you, the thing that I want to talk about is the type of company that I was just describing, what many companies could be. I work with a lot of those companies. I work with a lot of companies that already have that culture in place. The culture is fantastic. It's wonderful. But let me talk to people that are professionals in the specialty contracting firm, in the general contracting area, for commercial construction. Let me talk to you right now, and let me ask you a question. If there is a better opportunity out there, would you want to hear about it? And what would that opportunity have to entail? I'm hoping that I can gain knowledge from a group of people, and perhaps maybe you're not able to watch this live, but you can put your information down in the comments or whatever. If you're on live right now, please feel free to make those comments right there on the screen. What could be better than what you have right now? And I want you to think about what kind of opportunity would cause you to think about leaving your current company, making a change. I'm not talking to unemployed people out here, but if you're unemployed right now and you've got a marketable skill set, that's fine. That's awesome. A lot of people kind of got cut loose. But what is it that you are looking for in a company that would cause you to make a change? Number one thing that I always hear about is compensation. Now, that's in my mind as a recruiter, and in companies' minds, as far as marketing yourself, that's low. That should be low on the totem pole. But let me tell you something right now. If you're I'm just speaking about my own industry that I know the most about. I'm talking about specialty contractors. If you've got a marketable skill set in drywall, on-screen takeoff, quick bid, project manager, project sizes of $1 million plus, 3 to 5 years worth of experience as an estimator, on-screen takeoff, quick bid, doing takeoffs of projects over $1 million, paint over $500,000, same thing, on-screen takeoff, quick bid, plants with the edge, takeoff software, project managing projects of multiple projects of upwards of $500,000 to $750,000. And these are the types of people that I'm really focusing on. If you have that skill set and you're currently working at a company, what is one thing that you would change about that company? What could be better than what you have right now? I talk to people all the time. In fact, I have another illustration. This last week, we placed a guy who had those skill sets, who was very, very happy at his company with the exception of one thing: the location. The location. He was driving an average of 2 to 2.5 hours one way, daily basis, to his workplace. Now, they paid him well. He was compensated well. Good health insurance, good 401k. The company culture was great. He had friends there. He enjoyed the people that he was working with. But that one thing irked him. So two ways with the companies. One big thing that you can do is start having a little bit of trust in your employees, and do what you had to do during COVID anyway. Either send them out and make them remote, or make them a hybrid, coming into the office 1 or 2 days a week. If that's possible to do their job from home, you should give them that flexibility. That's going to create people that are never going to leave. So this guy had brought that idea. Hey man, during COVID, man, we were working from home and we did a great job, and we continued making money for the company. Can I get a hybrid? Can I get a hybrid role? Nope. And that opened the door for me to be able to talk to this candidate. Location is urgent. Now, he went to a different company that cut his commute time to less than half. Maybe between a quarter and a half. Cut his time down on the road commuting, and there's that open door opportunity at some point for him to be able to work a hybrid, even though it's much closer, work a hybrid remote. Now, did he get paid more? No, he got paid about the same. Did he get better benefits? Well, some of them might be better. Who knows? does he have growth? Yeah, all these other things add on within this company. But the one thing that had him make a change was location. So I got to ask you a question: how far are you driving every day to work? How much of your time is spent in the car every single day? And as a company, is it possible for your high performers, your people that have proven and shown trustworthiness as far as working, is it possible that they could do a better job for you by having a hybrid role and by being having their butts in the seats from 9 to 5 or from 8 to 4 or from 7 to 3 every day, but that they had the opportunity 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week to work from home, work in a hybrid role, and as long as their work was getting done, no big deal. We got to start expanding our mind and thinking about these things, because the workforce right now is used to, unfortunately, because of COVID, they got sent home. Many of them got sent home. Many of them didn't come into the office for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Many people didn't come into the office. So consider that hybrid option if you're an employer. But again, maybe location is something better than what you have right now. Maybe having a hybrid role would be better than what you have right now. Maybe just maybe a 4-day work week. I work with lots of companies that have that 4-day work week that they're implementing, where you don't have to, where you're working 4 10-hour days, and then you have a 3-day weekend. That provides for some great work-life balance. I work with companies that their location may not be the greatest, but what about their compensation and their benefits? Now, I'm not just talking about money. That's low on the totem pole. Someone could pay you $150,000, you're making $75,000 now. Someone could pay you $150,000. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if the culture sucks, the rest of the job sucks, that money's not going to mean a hill of beans, especially if you're not ever home with your family, for example. There's a lot of things that come with money, but I'm talking about compensation. I'm talking about companies that creatively pay their employees and listen to them when it comes to benefits, the benefits that they want and the benefits that they need. So your salaried employees, when you're paying them to do a specific job from 9 to 5, you're paying them for that job. But what if they did an exemplary job, if they met a criteria, what if there was spiffs and bonuses, etc.? I work with a company that when their estimating department meets, there's 3 goals that their estimating department has. When they meet their goal, they cater in a lunch, or they take the entire department out to lunch. If they meet their second level goal, they take the entire department and they do something together. Skiing, golfing, something outdoors. They go to Topgolf and spend the afternoon. The entire department on the company's dime. When they meet that third level, they get a day. The department, individuals in the department get 1 full day of PTO to be used in that span of time. So they do team things when the department meets their team goals. That's a little bit extra. Now, that the individuals in that department, also the ones that help them bring them up to those goals, also get a financial reward. They get a percentage bonus on top of what their salary is. So it motivates them to do more, not just do what's expected of them from 9 to 5, but they're encouraged to do more through financial bonuses and activities that are fun. Think about that. What if there was a company like that? What if there was a company that creatively compensated you in a way with bonuses, commissions? What if there was a company that had health insurance is another big issue. What about health insurance? I placed a person that, the tipping point for this person was that piece of the compensation package. It's not that he didn't have health insurance, it's that every single paycheck, $100 was being taken out of his paycheck for health insurance. And it wasn't really all that good of health insurance anyway, but that's what they had, and that's what they gave him. So every pay period, 52 pay periods a year, $5,200 came out of his account, and the rest, was paid for by the company. He got sent to a company where he got a little bit more money, but the big kicker for him is that he got an insurance package that paid 100%. So there was not that $100 that was coming out of his check every week. That was paid for 100% by the company, and that was important to him because he had a big family. He had a wife and a few kids, and he really wanted to. That really helped him. It really helped save his bottom line. You got to think about that. So compensation, 401k, ESOP. Are you an ESOP? Do you want to go to an ESOP company where you have stock options that you can build up through the years, and then when you leave, you can get paid. You got to think about, could there be something better than what you have right now? And here's the other thing about compensation. And again, it's not all about money, but it's important. Are you being paid what you're worth? You're never going to know unless you call a recruiter, 605-277-3729. I'll tell you the truth. Yeah, you're getting paid really, really well. You probably, if money's your motivation, you're probably not going to find anything out there that's better than what you have. But I had another placement. I've had another placement. A lot of people, I've placed a lot of people where their salary got increased. People don't want to make a lateral move or a backward move unless their situation is so terrible in the other areas. But where this person was making in an industry where he should have been making much more. He was making $45,000 a year with 5 years worth of experience in this industry, and he was good at what he did. And it wasn't the only reason he moved. In fact, it was really, really low on the totem pole. But when he got that offer for $90,000, that changed his life. He's able to get a house instead of renting an apartment. Money was huge. Now, I rarely double people's salaries, but that guy had no idea that his degree and his number of years of experience doing what he did successfully should translate into better pay. So that again goes back to your company. Are you regularly reviewing your high performers' salary package? That's really, really important. And by the way, people that are looking for people today, don't let $5,000 a year stop you from hiring the right person. Don't let $10,000 a year stop you from hiring the right person. You got to be able to think quickly and put out your best foot forward when you're trying to hire somebody. Another thing that people change for is culture, and we talked about that earlier in this video. Culture is so important. You can't hate where you go to work every day. You can't feel like you're not valued. You can't feel like the owner or the manager doesn't want to hear your opinion. You can't feel like every day like you're not valued. And if you're not feeling valued at the place where you work, you're feeling disrespected, you're feeling like your work is not contributing to the greater good of the company. You feel like you're just not, you're not being respected or honored or given love for what you're doing. It's a good reason to call a recruiter. And it's a good reason to call me, 605-277-3729. My information is right below there on the screen. If you feel like you lay awake at night because you're worried about going to work the next day, it's probably a good indicator that you should start looking for something different. There might be something better for you out there right now. And by the way, it's the same with the business owner as it is with the individual. You got to examine yourself first and see if you're contributing to that culture. I mean, if you're coming in with a cruddy attitude every single day, and you're not friendly with people, and you're not, treating them the way that you want to be treated, maybe you need to be changed. Maybe your culture needs to be changed. I can help you with that too. But the other really important part of culture is that you have to like what you have to actually like what you do, and you have to like the company that you're working for. If you see something that's dishonest, or if you see something that kind of sparks your conscience or whatever, in the way that the company does business, it's probably a good thing to call a recruiter. 605-277-3729. You don't want to have a bad personal reputation. Ultimately, your brand is you. That's your personal brand. That's your personal marketing brand. And you can't continue to work for a company that, it's hard to put your name behind a company that's not acting from a place of integrity, from a place of honesty, from a place of doing the right thing at the right time, for the right reasons, even when nobody's looking. So culture is huge. Culture is important. The biggest one I hear about all the time now is work-life balance. And we talked about that a little earlier with location. We talked about that a little earlier with possibly, remote work. Not a lot of, still a lot of companies are kind of lagging behind in that remote work aspect. You're still going to have to go to work probably, 40 to 50 hours a week if you're in construction. But work-life balance is really, really important. I work with companies that have an amazing PTO policy. An amazing policy period when it comes to paying their people the right amount of money, but also giving them the freedom to leave. I work with a company, a location that remain nameless, that has an unlimited PTO policy. Here's the thing: if you do your work and you get it done, they don't care when you get it done, as long as it's done by deadline. If you're a night owl, after you put your kids to bed, if you have kids, and you want to bang out a few estimates, between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night, or 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night, and show up for work at 10 in the morning because you wanted to go golfing before you showed up for work. As long as the work gets done, it doesn't matter when you do it. But these guys had an unlimited PTO policy. If your work was done, all you had to do was just let them know that you weren't going to be in the office the next day, and don't show up. Many companies I work for say, yeah, your work is done. Go to your kid's ball game. Go to your kid's dance recital. Go on a long weekend with your significant other, whoever that is. So maybe your company is working you 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week because they just can't get enough employees in the market, or they're laying that on you. They're paying you a salary, and it's a good salary and everything else, but they just don't have enough employees to do what they need to get done, and they're putting pressure on you, and you're working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. That's not good work-life balance. It's never good when your significant other doesn't recognize you when you walk into place. It's never good when your significant other, or your kids, or family members, or loved ones, whoever they are, don't recognize you because you're never there. You're never able to connect with them, because when you get home, you're so tired that you can't function. And again, that goes to location also. Maybe you have a 2.5 hour commute, or a 2 hour commute, and you're driving home, and that's time when you could be spending with your family. So maybe you're getting paid a salary, and it's a good salary for 40 hours a week or for 50 hours a week, but you're simply not getting that satisfaction, because in reality, when you're working 70, 80 hours a week, that salary is irrelevant because you're getting paid lower per hour, whatever. Now, again, examine yourself. If you're working 70, 80 hours a week because you're inefficient, you may need to examine yourself. But the point is that you may want to look at a company because you just have no work-life balance. Your significant others don't recognize you anymore. You have no time for free time. You have no time to do your hobbies, golf, fishing, whatever it is you like to do. So a lot of people look for a new job because of that work-life balance issue. If that's the case with you, give me a call, 605-277-3729, John Chisholm at GoGPAC.com, John Chisholm at GoGPAC.com. But last but not least, maybe there's no reason. Maybe there's just something inside of you that says, man, I wonder what's out there. I wonder what's out there. I wonder if there could be something better. Man, connect with me. I've got a great network of companies. I've got a great network of candidates. Connect with me about something better than what you have. Whatever that is. If it's not location, if it's not work-life balance, if it's not culture, if it's not compensation, whatever it is, if there's just that itch and you want to find out what could be better out there, and examine yourself and need some help figuring out what could be better. If you just have that, you just don't know what it is, you just have that feeling in you, give me a call. 605-277-3729. I'll be more than happy to help you talk through that idea. So at the end of the day, we've talked to companies, how you keep your best employees, and how do you kind of recruiter-proof your company, and how do you attract new talent. We've talked about that. On the candidate end, we've talked about what could be better than what you have right now, what would cause you to make a change. If you're a company owner or whatever, and you're looking for great talent, and you need great talent, and you've got that great company culture, you've got that great high-performing culture that's going to attract good people, give me a call. You're really, really good at specialty subcontracting. I'm really, really good at recruiting. And so take that thing off your plate. Let me search for your next best employee. And if you're a candidate out there, drywall, metal stud framing industry, commercial painting industry, industrial coatings industry, civil contracting, heavy highway industry, HVAC, electrical, whatever, and there is something that could be better than what you have right now, something an itch that you need to scratch, give me a call, 605-277-3729. Give me a call regardless, because even if I'm not in your industry, I'll point you to somebody within GPAC that is in your industry that has that expertise and has those contacts. Anyway, bye for now. Have a great Thursday, and be your best.